Hello everybody, and once again welcome to Pankaj Sir's Echelon Tutorials. And in this today's session we are going to uh, do something on ICSE 7th grade, and the subject is mathematics and the topic is factorization. Okay, so let us get started, and let us study what is this factorization, what is the concept of factorization. Now, to start with, फैक्टराइजेशन का जो मीनिंग है दैट फर्स्ट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड वेरी वेल. ओके, व्हाट इज फैक्टराइजेशन? Factorization is a process in which you will be converting an expression. For example, suppose you have an expression like ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, this is an algebraic expression, and it's a quadratic expression. Okay, because the power of this x is 2, right? Highest power is 2, so it's a quadratic expression. Somehow, if you want to express this particular expression, which is made up of three terms, this is one term, second term, and the third term. Can you see these three terms are connected with each other with either a plus or a minus? So whenever a expression is connected by a plus or a minus only, okay, then such an expression can be converted into a new expression which will be in the form of a product of two terms. Okay, so this ax square plus bx plus c can somehow be written as some term multiplied by another term. Okay, something multiplied by something. This process is known as factorization, precisely. Okay, so factorization is basically converting an expression in a sum or difference form into a product form. So let me write down for you what is factorization. Factorization is converting an expression, okay, an expression with a sum and difference into an expression with product. Okay, now this is basically what is meant by factorization, right? So we are going to start with simple things. Okay, suppose I tell you that there are two. Now I'm not giving you a expression, I will just give you two terms. Okay, let us assume, two monomials. Okay, monomials means single terms, right? Now let us assume two monomials like say 6x square y cube and 9 x cube y square. Okay, suppose these are two monomials. Okay, now if I want to ask you, like, what is the HCF of these two monomials? Okay, HCF. So HCF, if you want to find out of these two monomials, now why I'm trying to tell you to find out HCF, the reason is HCF is something which will be useful in factorization. Okay, so if you want to understand how to factorize or how what is factorization, you should understand what is HCF. Okay, so let us assume two monomials and find the HCF. Okay, now let us try to find out the HCF. Now you can see in these monomials there are numericals and there is a this is numerical. 6 and 9 are the two numericals in these monomials, and the other things, that is x square y cube and x cube y square, these are variables, a bunch of variable. Okay, so what you have to do is, if you want to find the HCF of the entire two terms, you will have to first find out the HCF of the numericals. Okay, so HCF, first step will be finding the HCF of 6 and 9. Okay, now you know how to find out the HCF of 6 and 9, because this you must have studied in your earlier class in the 6th grade also. If not, I'll tell you how to find out the HCF of 6 and 9. There are many ways. The best way is division method. Okay, so take the smaller number, okay, and outside, and take the bigger number inside. In fact, you have to divide the bigger number by the smaller number. So you will divide 9 by 6. Okay. This way you have to start. Now 6 into how much is 9? 6 into 2 will be 12. So 6 into 1 will be 6. Okay. Minus 9 minus 6 is 3. Now this 3 that you got as a remainder, that will become the divisor. Okay. And now what you will do, this will be the, 1 second. Okay, so 9 minus 6, 3 is the remainder. Now what you will do, this 3 you will take, the remainder you will take as a divisor, new divisor. And the old divisor you will put inside. Okay, so you will put inside 6, right? So this is the way you find the HCF, okay? Right. So 3 into how much is 6? 3 into 2 is 6. Now you get a remainder as 0. So you should go on doing this process till you get the remainder as 0. Once you get the remainder as 0, the final divisor is the HCF. So which is the divisor, final divisor? This is the final divisor, okay? Not this 2. Okay, many a time students make the mistake of taking this 2. This 2 is the quotient. These are the quotients, okay? These are the divisors. These are the divisors. These are quotients. Okay. So you should take the last divisor as your HCF. So you get the number 3 as the HCF. Okay. So HCF of 6 and 9 is equal to 3. So you got the HCF, right? Second step is you have to find the HCF of the variables. Okay. The entire variables. Now how to find the HCF of variables, that also I'll tell you. Now here you have two bunch of variables. From the first term you have x square y cube, and from the second you have x cube y square. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to take first variable x, okay, and see in both the terms in which term you have the minimum index, okay, or minimum power. So in both these terms, in this you have x square, this is less, and here you have x cube. So 2 x square is less than x cube, so you have to take x square. Similarly, from the second term, second variable, that is y, okay, so write down y. Now in this term you have y cube, and here you have y square. So which one you will take? The lower one, y square. So y square you will take. So this is the HCF. Okay, so HCF of this and this is x square y square. Got it? Now the third step is the HCF of the entire two terms. That is 6x square y cube and 9x cube y square is finally the HCF will be this, whatever answer you got for this step 1 and 2, that is 3 and this. So you have to just multiply that, 3 into x square y square. Got it? This is that HCF. I hope you understood how to find out the HCF of two monomials. Is that clear? Okay. Now this should help you in understanding factorization, right? So let us try one more, okay, so that you get a proper hold of this concept. Okay, my second example is, try this one. Find the HCF of, this time I am going to give you three terms, okay, three monomials. So it is 6 pi h raised to 6, phi h raised to 8, and 5 h raised to 9. Fine. So you have to find the HCF of this. Again, going by this step 1, you have to find the HCF of only the numericals. Okay. So all the three terms are having 5, 5, 5. So HCF will be equal to 5. Right. Second is you have to find the HCF of the variables. So variables you have HCF of variables. Okay. Now variables may you have h raised to 6, h raised to 8, and h raised to 9. So which is the minimum power? H raised to 6. So you have to take that as the HCF, h raised to 6. Okay. Now third step may the final HCF of all these three together, that is 5 h raised to 6, 5 h raised to 8, and 5 h raised to 9 is the product of these two. Okay. So it will be 5 h raised to 6. Got it? So from these two examples, you can make a big statement And that statement you have to remember lifelong. And it's this: HCF of monomials is equal to the product of two things. What are the two things? It is the HCF of the numerical coefficient and HCF of multiplied by, okay, it's a product of HCF of their variables. Got it? So this is the first step in the understanding of factorization that you have to learn, and that is finding the HCF of certain terms. Okay, so before we go and take a dive into actual factorization, let us do one more example. This example is find the HCF of, this time I want you to find HCF of 4a cube b and 12ab cube. Okay. Okay, now here I am not going to explain you stepwise. So directly 4 and 12 ka HCF is what? That we will find out. 4, 12. Now I'll be a bit quicker. 4 3s are 12. 0. So this itself is the HCF. So HCF of 4 and 12 is 4. So I got this 4. Right? Now I'll find the HCF of a cube b and ab cube. Okay, so if I take a, so A is the thing that I choose, and from B and B cube, I'm going to choose again B, the lower power I'm going to choose. So this AB I'm going to take here. Okay. Now by this, HCF of the monomials is the HCF of the numerical coefficient times HCF of the variables. So this answer will be HCF of 4, therefore HCF of 4a cube b and 12ab cube is 4 times AB. Is that clear? So I suppose this is enough to understand how to find out the HCF of certain monomials. Okay. So if there are 2, 3, 4, how many monomials you have, you should know how to find out the HCF, right? Now, once HCF of monomials you have learned how to find out, now we can take a dive into what is factorization. Now, when you want to factorize something, as I told you, what is factorization? Now, take an example. Okay, now we are trying to understand what is factorization with an example. So let us take this example. Suppose you have 12 PQ minus a 16Q square. Okay. Now, this is an expression. Why I'm calling it expression? Because it is consisting of two terms connected by a minus. So this is an expression in uh, uh, difference. Okay, that is minus, right? Now what you can do, you can always factorize it and try to convert it into product, the expression in the form of product. Okay, once you do this, you have done factorization. Okay, but just don't do this blindly. Okay, what you have to do is, from this, you will have to take the HCF of these two terms. Okay, right. Now actually, what we do is, we in common language we say just take common out. Okay, but then you have to take the highest factor common out. Okay, this in fact is not 12, but it is 2. Okay, fine. So from this 2 and 16, the highest common factor will be 2. Okay. And from these variables, okay, PQ and Q square, the highest that I can take is highest factor. Okay. So I'll take Q as the highest factor, right? And then I'll put a bracket. Now from this first term, is if 2Q is out, what will be left is P. Then I'll put this side minus, and from this 16, 2 is already out, so there will be 8. And from this q square, already q is out, so I'll write a q over here. So this is the factorization of this 2pq minus 16q square. So the answer will be 2q into p minus 8q. Now you will notice in this that I have used HCF. Okay. Now what is the HCF? This 2q was the HCF. Okay. See, let us try to find out what is the HCF of 2pq and 16q square. So these are the two monomials. Okay. How to find the HCF of the two monomials? You have to find the HCF of the numbers first. And 2 and 16 ka HCF, you know it is 2. So that I will take and multiply by the HCF of the variables. Variables are PQ and Q square. Out of this, which is common factor? The common factor is Q. So which you are going to take? The one which is with having a lower power. So this is having lower power. So I'll take Q as the factor. So just this Q I'll multiply with this 2. So 2Q happens to be the HCF of these two, isn't it? That HCF I took common out, and then what is remaining in the bracket, that I found out. So I got two brackets in the form of 2q and p minus 8q. This is the factorization of this particular expression. So I hope you are getting a proper understanding of what is factorization instead of just without knowing much. If you are just doing it because teacher told you to do this way. Okay, that is not sufficient. You should know a little more about what you are doing. Okay, so that really helps. So I think I have touched with the concept of factorization. Now in the next video, hopefully I'll be going with the examples of more and more examples of factorization, and in the process you will understand how this factorization works. Okay, so today was a session where I just wanted you to understand the meaning of factorization and what leads to factorization, and what way HCF was important in understanding factorization. That was my intention in this today's video, which I suppose you must have got it clear now. Okay, so today's video I'm going to end here and here itself. Okay, and maybe we'll see you in the next video with more examples on factorization. Till then, goodbye, see you, take care all of you.